Has my mic been off the whole time? I wonder. OBS was being weird and disconnected me from Twitch a lot, but now I see it is streaming. But I had to like manually put in the chat, so I'm not sure if it works, but I have the stream open on my phone. So I don't think anyone's here, but I'll get started. So I'll probably be quiet. Maybe not though. I mean, I'll read it, but I don't have much to say. Ding dong bing bong, baby.
10時になりました。ただいまより夜時間になります。まもなく食堂はドアをロックされますので、立ち入り禁止となります。ではでは、いい夢を。おやすみなさい。
Nighttime already. Tonight feels somehow uneasy. We still haven't settled things with Sakura. Everyone's in a terrible mood. I just hope nothing happens tonight. Hi! You just missed the nighttime announcement. After I declined the offer to become a shrimp, the tech support lady just refused to drop the issue. Once the shrimp idea was dead, she came back, suggesting I could become a crab instead. How much can one person love crustaceans? I said no, of course, and she shot back. Okay, then how about to make you extra special, you can be a crab that walks sideways and backwards. But how's that any better? I don't want to go sideways or backwards, I want to go forward. I heard her annoyed sigh on the other end of the line. Then she said, "You just don't see the splendor of the crab. Haven't you ever heard of the tale of the crab and the monkey?" Of course I've heard of it. I know all about it. But so what? The crab beats the monkey, but it's just some legend, hardly relevant to our greed-obsessed modern society. Sure, monkeys still show up in movies and stuff from time to time, but not crabs. Monkey-themed clothes are sweeping the fashion world, but the crab doesn't stand a chance, right? What I'm saying is, crabs have no place in today's lightspeed world. Do your market research, lady. Which is why I chose the always popular bear image. And that's the secret origin story of Monokuma. Yakuza dry clean friend of the show, can you hear okay? And all that, because OBS is giving me a lot of fucking issues. But it's good I can see the chat. Yep, okay, yay! Because the chat was not working either, so. Hooray! Let's get this party started. How are you today, ding dong bing bong? Game volume could go down in here. Bink. Nice. I'm glad it at least, fucking functions. Because it like logged me out of Twitch and it kept telling me that it's not connected, even though it is clearly physically connected and all this shit. I couldn't change the title from OBS or see the chat. I had to put in the chat my own. Blah, blah, blah. Making some rice. Fuck yeah. I need to do something about Sakura. I better go to the dining hall and talk to the others about it one more time. Let's go to the dining hall and talk about it with the others one more time. Oh, thank you, friend. Ooh, ah! Huh? Was that someone screaming? I think it came from the dining hall. Wait, make sure there's nobody else. I hope it goes well from here. I hope so, too. I'm glad it's working. I didn't have to redo everything. I was, like, about to uninstall and reinstall and have to start way later. It's annoying. My sidekick's not here, though, so maybe that would have been better, but, Makoto, we got a big problem, man. What's wrong? Look! Hiro's finger shook as he pointed. Hina? Oh, he's talking. Sorry, Nagi. Are you okay? What happened? She killed her. Genocide Jill killed Hina. No. She's not dead. Open your eyes. No way she's dead. Why? What happened? Well, Toko and Hina, just all of a sudden they were yelling and then they knocked the pepper off the table. And that led to a sneeze? Her giant balloons are a little too perfect, aren't they? I might be flat, but at least mine are real. Oh, and look at my shapely collarbone. Doesn't it just totally set you on fire? Anyway, you totally non-adorable boys, just get her out of my sight, okay? Or else. My mom is not feeling well, so she is here in the house, and I'm like, oh my god, she's sleeping. But I hope she doesn't hear me say all these pervert words. I'll start cutting and indulging myself for who knows how long. My friend is in the house too. I mean, not now. She went out, but I don't care if she hears me hear pervert words, but my mom will be like, what the hell is that? Okay, then let's get Hina to the nurse's office. Come on, Hiro, help me. Sure thing. Wee-oo, wee-oo. Good one, bitch. Genocide Jack's abrasive laugh chased us out of the room as we carried Hina away. By the time I finished taking care of Hina's injury in the nurse's office, she seemed to have finally regained her composure. Thank you. Are you sure you're feeling better? Yeah, it really was just a scratch. But still, that was super close. If I hadn't yelled out, you'd be dead right now. It's all thanks to me, you know. Yes, well, 1,000 thanks to you, sir. So sarcastic. That just makes you sound even more hostile. Yeah, no shit, babe. Hey, Hina, what the heck happened? Oh, we just got into a fight and I lost my temper and flew off the handle. But it's because she's just so awful. Just the most super awful girl ever. Come on, go easy on her. It's probably because of her complicated home life. Forgive and forget, yeah? Not a chance. She just pisses me right off. It's seriously scary when a woman snaps like that. Okay, now I have to use the purple words. I decided not to that time. Let me guess. The fight was because of Sakura? At first, I just tried to ignore it. I tried to just ignore it. Oof. If you let jerk buttholes get to you all the time, you'll never have time left to live your life. But she wouldn't let it go, so I just... Without thinking about it, I felt like I wanted to punch her like a dozen times. A dozen punches isn't really without thinking. And when things got out of hand, Genocide Jack got let loose, right? It's my own fault, but I just couldn't take it anymore. Because she was saying all these terrible things about my friend, you know? Before I knew it, Hina's eyes started welling up with tears. And just as the tears were on the brink of spilling over, the door to the nurse's office burst open. I thought the door was going to fly off its hinges. And there she stood before us. Hina? Sakura! You're hurt. What happened? Oh, nothing. It's not a big deal. Makoto, Hiro, what's the meaning of this? It wasn't me. It was Genocide Jill. It's all that demented murderous fiend's fault. Grrrng. To hurt Hina. Damn you. To leave me alone, but hurt her? What is this? What is this? I can't yell either. Yeah. I'm okay, really. It's just a scratch. Grrrng. Unforgivable. I can't forgive them. I know, she's such an angel. You know, if you want to hate someone, hate me. If you want to hurt someone, hurt me. I don't hate you exactly. Why? Somebody save me. Hiro nearly tripped over himself as he ran screaming out of the nurse's office. But just a second later... What's going on? Is the audio of the game okay? It sounds kind of weird to me, but maybe my headphones are bad. What's all this noise about? Kyoko stood in the doorway of the nurse's office, taking Hiro's spot in the room. I gather that something happened. Kyoko, please, you have to stop Sakura. You don't need to stop me. I'm okay. I'm not gonna do anything. I'm drawing a line right here and now. Drawing a line? Okay, good. As long as it's okay for you, then it's okay for me. Goodbye. Wait, Sakura! Hina sprang into action, leaving the nurse's office to chase after Sakura. The only ones left were... Uh-oh. Will she speak to me? Kyoko? Are you still mad? Yeah, I figured. It's fine. Huh? About that issue we discussed earlier, it doesn't matter anymore. Anyway, there's something else I want to talk to you about. Oh boy. Then, do you forgive me for not being able to talk about it? You could have told me about Sakura and Monokuma fighting, but you stayed quiet. You were only thinking of Sakura, and that's why you didn't tell me, right? You didn't want to confuse everyone until you could talk to her and be sure of what you saw. That's what you were thinking, and that's why you didn't tell me, right? Yeah. To think like that, I wouldn't have expected such arrogance from you. What? Because ultimately, that means you don't trust me. No, that's not it. But if that's how you feel, I can't really change your mind. I'm sorry. It's fine. I've already forgotten about it. Besides, I may have overreacted. Huh? Anyway, it's over and done with. Like I said, let's just forget about it. Okay, thank you. Now let's talk to the other thing. Purple words. What is it you want to talk to me about? Actually, I'd like you to come somewhere with me. I have business there. Where? Just come with me and you'll find out. I guess, but... Well then, shall we get going? With her typical indifference, Kyoko turned around and walked away, setting a brisk pace. Kyoko. I hurried to catch up to her. She walked ahead in silence, and in silence I chased her. And eventually we arrived. The dressing room? So there's something else you mentioned. That's right. It has to do with alter ego. But you said we didn't need alter ego anymore. I didn't say we didn't need him. I just said he'd done his job. Besides, it's not us that needs alter ego. He has business with us. Huh? Alter ego asked me to bring others to come see him. Apparently it's something he wants to ask us. Alter ego wants to ask us something? Let me speak to my little baby. Hello. Oh, so it's just the two of you? Kyoko and Makoto? Kyoko's fingers glided across the keyboard. Is two not enough? No, it's okay. Two should be plenty. But what is it he wants to ask us? Let's find out, shall we? Kyoko typed in the question. What did you want to ask us? Oh yeah, so I'd like you to take me somewhere where you can connect me to the school network. What? Kyoko and I quickly glanced at each other. She replied, Why? Well, you said my job was done, right? But to just stop here, saying I've finished my work, I don't want that. I want to keep being helpful to everyone. I want to work as hard as everyone else so that we can all get out of here. That's what Master would want too. So to help everyone else, to solve the mystery of this school, the only way I can help is if you connect me to the school's network. I know. My baby's child. But if you did that, that's basically suicide. I'm positive the mastermind would find out about it. They'd find you and they'd... You agree, right, Kyoko? I realize how dangerous it could be, but still, I have to do this. I'm scared, but I can handle it. I don't really understand why, but when I think about everyone else, my courage starts to grow. You might think I'm just some inhuman AI, but it's true. So, it's okay. If it's for the sake of everyone else, I won't be afraid. I couldn't help but get lost in that voice. It was just too committed, too admirable, too fragile. You remember what you asked before, Makoto? You asked what the difference is between a person and a program, right? Yeah.
確かに
When I talk to Alter Ego, I don't know. I have no idea how to answer that question. I think maybe that's a question even the program's creator can't answer. But I can say this.
そう
There's no question that Alter Ego is our friend. Kyoko.
私は
To be honest, I didn't want Alter Ego to push himself anymore. My cat just let out a yell that I'm sure you could hear. Because if we take any more risks, the mastermind really will notice it. But
苗木くん
let's do it, Makoto. Let's connect Alter Ego to the network. But
ね
he's our friend, so I want to take his feelings into consideration. And he says that he wants to fight alongside his friends.
もし
If you were in his place, could you just sit by and do nothing in this situation? If you saw everyone else fighting and doing their best, could you just look the other way? Or would you stand up? Stand up tall next to everyone else and tell them you're their friend. Hey, are you guys fighting? If it's about me, please don't. I want to believe in myself. I want to be able to say I know I can do this. So please, let me try.
ね
And besides, there's one place where the mastermind might not notice. One place?
そうよ
Remember, there's another place besides here where there's no surveillance camera. A room without a surveillance camera. The secret room. That's it, the secret room you told me about. I definitely remember there was no surveillance camera in there.
ええ
And I do believe you can connect to the network from there. I remember seeing the Ethernet port on the wall.
だけど
However, just because there's no camera there doesn't mean there's no danger. There's no way to be sure the mastermind isn't monitoring the network somehow. We'll also have to move Alter Ego, and the mastermind may spot us going into the secret room. If they pick up on any of this, then it's all over. You're right.
そうするべきよ
But despite all that, I still think we need to try.
そう
Because that's our best chance of finding any new clues. Kyoko, in that case, will you let me carry him? There's no way you could hide him with what you're wearing, right? So let me do it.
そうね
Okay then, I'll leave it to you. Thank you.
じゃあ
Then let's get started. Everyone take a drink of water, all one of you. And me. It's gonna be a little cramped for you, Alter Ego. Bear with us, okay? We started packing him up right away. I closed the laptop and stuffed it underneath my jacket. Ahaha, it tickles. No, it fucking doesn't. Shh, you can't talk right now. We're going to move you to another room. Until we get there, you have to be absolutely silent, okay? Understood. Your command has been implemented. Good. To have him react like a machine like that all of a sudden, I didn't know how to react.
苗木くん
In the secret room, there are a bunch of different cables in one of the desk drawers. So there might be a network cable in there?
でも
Assuming the mastermind hasn't taken it already, well, all we can do is go and check for ourselves.
そうね
Agreed. Let's head to the secret room. It's on the second floor. Right? Maybe. Let's run. Oh, hello, Queen. That's so fucking true. My obsession. Oh, she's speaking. What are you doing? Living. I see. Anyway, I'm headed back to my room. I'll just be there living, totally calm. Okay. If that's a reference to something, I don't know what it is. Isn't she just a doll? It's here, right?
ね
Hey, Makoto.
えどうして
Are you sure all the documents are gone? I refuse to believe you. Go and check again. What?
いいわね
Just hurry up and go, and make sure you don't run off. I'm gonna wait right here. Oh, I get it. She's acting. She was so forceful, I thought I made her mad again somehow. Why are you just standing there? Hurry up and go. Okay, I'm going.
じゃあ
And be thorough. I'm counting on you. Oh. Okay, first we have to find the network cable. According to Kyoko, there should be a bunch of cables in this drawer. Found it. This is a network cable, right? Now we just have to connect Alter Ego. I immediately got to work. I pulled out the laptop and connected it to the Ethernet port with the cable. And that should do it. Yeah, I think it worked. Just leave the rest to me. I swear I'll find something. I might even be able to connect to the outside world. If I can, I'll see if I can call for help. So please, just wait a little while longer. Just hold tight and put your faith in me. As I was about to leave, I decided to leave him with one last thing. No matter what, we're gonna get out of here. You and all the rest of us as friends. Friends? Even me? Thank you. Thank you, Makoto. How'd it go? Well, it went okay, but all the, documents were gone, just like I told you. My reply was an unintentional mix of acting and real feelings. I see. Then there's nothing left for us here. Goodbye. Before I knew it, Kyoko was walking away. She wasn't acting anymore, that much was for sure. Kyoko. Yes? So we're just gonna split up? Of course. I have no reason to stay with you at this point. Well, maybe, but isn't that a little too direct? Should I hesitate and fumble for something to say? You're so high maintenance. That's not what I meant. I just had more I wanted to talk to you about. Like, what are you going to do about Sakura? Well, something has to be done, it's true. But the way things are right now, there's no way to persuade anyone. They don't have the mind to listen. Then what should we... If we can find some new clue, that would likely change the situation. That's all we can hope for right now. Which is why Alter Ego. All we can do is wait and believe in our friends. You're right. That's our only option. Golly. We parted ways and I headed back to my room. I'm kind of tired, so I lay down in bed. Maybe it was because of the stress of moving Alter Ego, but I was way more tired than I realized. So before long at all, I completely dozed off. Ding dong! Ding dong! The sharp sound of the doorbell pierced my sleepy haze and pulled me back into the real world. Uh-oh, what the fuck is going on now? Rattle. Makoto, get out here. Kyoko, what's going on? Hina just came to see me and she was white as a ghost. It sounds like something's happened. What? As soon as I heard those words, my heart started to beat a little faster. I suddenly found myself wide awake. She said for us to come to the rec room. The rec room? Okay, let's hurry. Oh. Makoto, Kyoko, Hina, what's wrong? Something's not right. In the rec room. What's inside? There was a window on the rec room door and I hurried to look inside. And when I did, Siren, you're just in time. Sakura? Is she unconscious? She's sitting up in the chair like she's bowing her head. What's going on? Did something happen to her? I was just walking past and I happened to notice her through the window, but I couldn't get the door open. I tried knocking, I tried calling her name, but she wouldn't respond. So what should we do? What are we gonna do? First of all, we need to get into that room. But the door's locked, right? And if we break in, we'll be violating school regulations. We're going to force our way in. I just said, the door isn't locked. It's not locked because the rec room door doesn't have a lock. Huh? Then why? It feels like the door's pressing up against something inside the room. Is it the chair? Chair? Either way, this door isn't locked, which means, as far as I can tell, the rule doesn't apply. Then there's no problem if we break in? Let's smash the window. That should be the fastest way. Okay, I'll go get something to break it with. Wait right here. Inside the rec room, Sakura still hadn't moved an inch. She's just unconscious, right? Is she okay? I mean, it's Sakura, so I'm sure. Kyoko didn't reply. There was only silence. But that silence didn't last long. Here! I found a broom in the classroom. Use it.
苗木くん
You can handle this, right, Makoto? Come on, please hurry. Okay, you two, stand back. I took hold of the broom and swung it hard as I could, aiming directly at the window. All it took was one solid hit. Crash! The window shattered into 100 pieces, scattering across the rec room floor. I stuck my hand through the now open window and started jostling the chair leaning against the door. The chair's pretty heavy, but if I can just... I pushed on it with all my strength, and finally the knob turned. Sakura! I ran up to her as fast as I could, but the moment I laid my hand on her... all I felt was cold death. I could feel only the last lingering warmth of a living body. Life had abandoned Sakura's body. And then... ding dong, ding dong. A body has been discovered. After a certain amount of time, which you may use however you like, the class trial will begin. All-Star Apologies, Deadly Life. Can't believe the other hoes missed this shit. Everyone quit your jobs. Dedicate your life to watching me playing this game. Huh? Sakura... Sakura is dead? She's really dead? I heard Hina talking, but my eyes stared steadily forward. I could only look on at Sakura's dead body. The reason why I sped through this last week and wanted to finish before my friend got here because I don't want to cry. We didn't make it in time. It's happened again. Muttering to herself, Kyoko began to gently inspect Sakura's body. I wondered, was she confirming that Sakura really was dead? Checking for a pulse or reaction? I have to go get them. I have to go get the others. On shaky legs, Hina left the rec room, and I... Why? Why did this have to happen? That's all I could say. I repeated it over and over again. I need to examine Sakura's body. I just stood there motionless behind her while she checked Sakura's corpse. Time passed. While I stood there unable to do a thing, time just passed. And after I don't know how long, I got everyone. Ogre? Oh, so she's dead, huh? Sakura's been killed? I see. As soon as they arrived, Kyoko began. You heard the announcement just now, right? So you know what this means. Sakura was murdered, and by someone in this very room. Is that what you were going to say? No. Whoever killed her, it's not just someone in this room. It was one of you. Hiro, Byakuya, Toko, one of you killed Sakura. What? You're accusing us before we've even begun the investigation? I don't need to investigate anything, because you hated her. You hated the sight of her. One of you did it, and I know it. You know it? Geez, I didn't know your power level would increase by that much just by getting mad. What are you doing here? Isn't it obvious? I'm here to hand out my little murder flyer. That's right. It's the next Monokuma file. And don't get so mad, Miss Asahina, or you're gonna ruin that lewd little face of yours. Now then, with that, Hold on. There's something I want to ask you. Huh? It was you, wasn't it? You killed Sakura? Huh? What did I miss? Oh, no! We just found Sakura's dead body locked in the rec room. What happened was, yeah. Hina, Asahina, and Fukawa Kyoko Toko, got in a fight over her, and Asahina got cut, and Sakura was like, I'm gonna fucking explode. I'm leaving again. I have a bridge to jump off. No, we have to. For her, we have to solve the murder. And I know I was really like, oh no, I hope everyone doesn't die and that Dawn does make it and doesn't miss this whole chapter. And I'm definitely gonna cry during the trial. Everyone get ready. Ah! Sakura wanted to challenge the mastermind to a duel. Yes, she wants you to be strong. Maybe you and her fought again, and then I killed her? Sorry, not quite. Actually, not even close. That whole thing is totally irrelevant now. Sakura came to a most regrettable end without even getting the chance to finish things with me. Which, thank God for that, saved me the trouble of having to go through with our little fight. Cause even for someone like me, it would have been no mean feat to take down a behemoth like that. I gotta tell you, I was actually pretty worried. She'd violated a rule by attacking me in the first place, but I wasn't able to punish her. So I don't know who it was, but whoever the blackened is this time, I owe you one. You owe them one? Oopsie, before you get all pissy potty at me, you better figure out who did it first. Cause your lives are all on the line, right? Boo, 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 boo. I don't know why they made it poo hoo 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 hoo. I don't know. I don't know why. What the hell? He owes them one? I hate him. I hate this whole thing. Well, I, for one, am glad it was Sakura. She was working for the mastermind after all. How can you say that now? I friggin' forget who done it? Oh boy. Well, get fucking ready. So I don't have time for your squabbling. The next game has already begun. If you want to be angry at someone, be angry at whoever killed Sakura. No, I think she has the right to be angry at you. Right now, our top priority needs to be uncovering Sakura's killer. If we can't do that, we're all dead. Then let's decide who'll stand guard this time. I'll do it. Hina? I'm okay. Just let me handle it. Besides, I want to be here with Sakura. Okay, then Hina is guard number 1, but we need one more. Kyoko, that's you. Me? You're always a thorn in my side. This time just stand by and watch quietly. Consider that an order. An order? Fine, I'll stay behind. Then it's settled. Let's begin, shall we? Hold on. Before that, there's something I want to say. Which is... Hiro, Byakuya, Toko. None of you are allowed to step foot in the crime scene. What? One of you killed Sakura. I won't let someone like that come anywhere near her. Don't be stupid. Our lives are in just as much danger as yours. We have every right to investigate. I don't care what you say. I'm not letting the one who killed Sakura anywhere near her. Even if it means I have to use force, you're not getting in here. Well, it appears further discussion would be a waste of time. How about a compromise? I won't ask you to let all of us in. Just let me. What? You don't really care, do you? You're both useless anyway. Nope, don't really care. I'd rather spend my time coming up with another splendid fantasy involving Master anyway. And you, Hiro, do you really object? If you're gonna go that far, what can I do? I don't have anything to hide, so why should I care? Then it's decided. Nothing's decided. I know how you feel, Hina, but you should agree to his request. But... We have to find out who killed Sakura. For those of us still alive, and to honor Sakura's memory. Fine. I guess that's okay. But no matter what, Byakuya, you absolutely aren't allowed to touch her. Naturally, who would want to touch a filthy dead body? That's enough fighting. We need to focus on the investigation from here on out. Everyone, keep this in mind. If we can't uncover Sakura's killer, all of us face execution. Finding out who killed Sakura, it's not a matter of hoping we can do it. If we want to survive, we have to do it. It's a kind of hopeless hope. We have no choice but to just do it. Togami, I'm gonna egg your house and shave your head. Agree. I better check the Monokuma Fairu before anything else. Let's all drink some water. Take some deep breaths. Center ourselves. The victim was Sakura Ogami. The time of death is estimated to be around 12 noon. The body was discovered in the rec room on the 3rd floor of the school. There's evidence of a strong blow to the victim's head. No other injuries were noted. However, it seems that at some point the victim suffered from violent vomiting of blood. Monokuma file number 4 has been added to the truth bullet section of your handbook.
ね
I think the case this time might be a challenge. Why's that?
えそれは
Oh, and what you missed on as well is that Alter Ego decided that she wanted to try to connect to the school's network. And even though it would probably end up with her getting found out and destroyed, so Naegi and Kirigiri moved her to the secret room in the bathroom and connected her to the network with the Ethernet cable, and there she is. And that's the other important plot information. The only way into the rec room is the door we just came through. And that door had been jammed shut with the chair room from inside the rec room, which means the killer would have had to escape somehow after barring the door. So if the door was blocked from the inside and there was no way in or out till he broke the window, there's like zero escape, right?
つまり
In other words, this is a classic locked room murder referential game. Locked room murder? I guess you might see this kind of thing a lot in mystery movies or books or whatever. But could it really happen in real life? And right before our very eyes like this?
ね
Are you curious to hear more about what a locked room murder entails? Sure, if you don't mind.
えいいわ
When you break down this kind of murder mystery, there are 4 basic types. The first type is when the locked room is created after the actual crime is committed. This simply means that the killer commits a crime, then through some special method seals the room. This mainly involves some sort of trick involving the locking of the room. Basic approaches include using a string or simple mechanism. There are a number of variations. So for that, all we'd have to do is check the door to see if that's what it was, right?
そう
The second type is when the locked room already exists before the crime is committed. Oh?
つまり
Basically, the killer uses a special contraption or tool from outside to target the victim inside. You push a switch and it fires a handgun, you shoot an arrow through a gap in the door, something like that.
だけど
But in this case, that doesn't seem to fit. There are no guns or arrows in the school, and the door doesn't have any gap that would allow it. Yeah, I think we can probably cross that one off the list.
そうね
The third type is when the killer stays in the room until it's opened up. What do you mean by that?
つまり
They stay hidden, and when the door's opened, they use the confusion to blend in with the group. They pretend they showed up along with everyone else, and that's that. That sounds like it could have been possible. Maybe.
そうね
And the fourth and final type is when it wasn't actually a locked room at all. Not a locked room?
つまり
By that I mean, there actually is an alternate escape route somewhere within the room. You see this a lot in novels and things, but in reality, it's generally not possible. Then you think we can cross that one off too?
ええ
I believe so, yes. So when it comes to locked room mysteries, those are the basics. There are 4 possibilities. Then, Kyoko, which of those 4 choices seem the most likely in this case?
そうね
That's a good question. Answering that should be our primary focus during this trial. But right now, I can't really say. I see. The way the killer set up the locked room. Until I figure that out, the truth behind Sakura's death will stay hidden. It's definitely a tough mystery. I need to concentrate and investigate as much as I can. For Sakura, if nothing else. This looks like some kind of wrapper. Ah, that's... Do you recognize it, Hina?
それは
Well, yeah, I mean, I gave it to her. It's a candy wrapper. Sakura got super upset when she found out Genocide Jack had attacked me, right? So after we left the nurse's office, I gave it to her. I thought it might help her calm down a little. So you gave the candy to Sakura. I found a big box of it in the warehouse. I really like them. Actually, as soon as we can get into the warehouse, I took the entire box back to my room. I made sure nobody else could get their hands on them. You really like them that much?
だって
But I wanted Sakura to get a chance to try one for herself. That's why I gave it to her. Oh my god, I'm gonna lose my mind. But now, they've lost all their flavor. Hina. Polka dot candy wrapper. Sakura drew her last breath sitting slumped forward in this chair. There's obvious evidence of the blow to the head Sakura suffered. Normally, I wouldn't have any problem believing that's what killed her. I'm ill, I know. It's so hard to get through. You guys, we need to just hold hands, drink a lot of water, maybe not eat candy, have some kind of other treat. This is going to be a hard one to get through. But according to the Monokuma file, she had also vomited blood. And I can see a trace of blood on her lips for sure. So, what would have caused her to vomit blood? I just ate an orange. Someone hold me. Okay, good. We're working on it, guys. We're gonna have oranges. It's gonna be okay. The Monokuma file specifically said she hadn't suffered any other injuries. Status of Sakura's body. Maybe her getting hit on the head somehow caused her to start vomiting blood. Not a chance. Byakuya. However, your eyes have landed on a most interesting location. Interesting? Yes, most interesting. Don't you agree? No, I don't think I'd call it interesting. But it does make me wonder. The reason Sakura vomited blood absolutely has to be connected to why she died. No, shit. She's not the type to be smashed in the head and have that be, the end, There's shards of glass scattered all around the chair Sakura was sitting on. At least that's my first impression, because I haven't played this game 5 times. This is my first impression. The glass is all red, and these are the top and bottom sections of a bottle, right? So this must have originally been a bottle. There's no way. Yeah. Glass shards on the floor. I can't even happily sing the evidence. There's something else on the ground near the glass. It's a figure. It fits in the palm of my hand. It's a Monokuma figure. Figure on the floor. Oh. There's some kind of plastic container rolling around near the entrance to the room. It looks like a protein drink, and it's empty. Sakura must have drank it. Everyone knows how much she loved her protein. And she mentioned more than once how protein was good for all sorts of ailments. I wouldn't take that to heart if I were you. I know. But still, this protein it's got a label on it that says Chem A2. That reminds me, Sakura mentioned how the Chem Lab had all kinds of health stuff. So she must have gotten this from the Chem Lab. But that's strange. Huh? What is? You see what's scattered around the can? Shards of light blue glass. They must be parts of the window I broke to get inside. But they aren't just scattered around the can. They're also underneath it. Why does that matter? I can't say for sure yet, but you're probably going to want to take note of it. Because what would imply that the container was moved after the window was smashed. I feel like it'll become an important clue later on. An important clue I'm not sure I see now. Or how. Because, Naegi, you're stupid. Come on, this is important. This is life or death. This is justice. Empty protein drink. Chair? Investigate all the things first. Magazines? Oh! The same shelf full of magazines. There's all different kind of magazines. I didn't see the blood. There's a blood stain in front of the magazine shelf. It must have come from Sakura, right? But that doesn't make sense. Why is it so far away from where she died? Magazine shelf blood stain. There are 4 red bottles lined up on the shelf. And inside each bottle, there's some kind of Monokuma figure. What I'm wondering is how'd they get those figures inside the bottles? That is the question, Naegi. Thanks. It's no different from your standard ship in a bottle. Huh? You know, where the bottle's opening is smaller than the boat placed inside? You've never seen that? Oh yeah, maybe I have. So this is the Monokuma version of that. A Monokuma bottle, if you will. Monokuma bottle. I feel like I'm finally starting to make sense of things little by little. The Monokuma bottle sitting on the shelf. The Monokuma figure was found on the ground. The red shards of glass which probably started out as a bottle, which would mean Sakura must have been hit in the head with the Monokuma bottle, right? The shards of glass and the Monokuma figure have evidence of that. So I think it's safe to say that the Monokuma bottle was the weapon. Agree. Huh? The locker's open, and there on the inside. It's a handprint? What's a handprint doing here? It looks like someone touched the inside of the locker and left a handprint in all the dust. And it looks quite fresh, too. I'd say someone was hiding here in the locker and they left behind a little something extra. So then, maybe the killer hid in here until the locked room was open, don't you think? And during all the confusion, they popped out and joined the rest of the group. Unfortunately, that's not a possibility. Huh? Why not? Think back. Before we opened the door, we looked inside the room, right? Oh yeah, and the locker was already open at that point. So there's no way someone could have hidden in there until after we opened the door. Yeah, so then What does this handprint mean? Locker handprint. Let's talk to the hose.
なんなの？
We already know who did it. Byakuya, Toko, or Hiro. It has to be one of them. They couldn't stand the sight of her. You agree with me, don't you, Makoto? Well, I don't want to say anything for sure without finding out more. Then let me help you find out more. You see, Sakura asked all three of them to meet with her. You know where? Right here in the rec room. What? After I went to the nurse's office this morning, Sakura and I both left together, right? Well, eventually she went off on her own. But when I saw her again after that, she told me. She said she left a note for each of them. She asked them to meet her in the rec room by noon. By noon. The Monokuma file said she died right around then. I'm telling you the truth. I heard it right from Sakura herself. And I tried to stop her. But she wouldn't listen. She said not to worry, that she just wanted to talk to them. And this is what happened. If I'd stopped her, by force even, this never would have happened. Hina. It's impossible not to have regrets, I know. Always account. But the fact that she'd asked those three to meet with her, and she asked them to come to the rec room at noon, the same time and place she ended up dying, it might be good to confirm what I just heard with the three of them directly. Yeah, babe.
でも
But for Sakura to have been killed, yeah, she's not the type to go down without a fight.
そうね。
And she certainly didn't, I would say. She was the ultimate martial artist, strong in body, mind, and spirit. So how was the killer able to get the upper hand on her? I wonder, did someone get the upper hand? They might have taken her by surprise, right?
確かに。
Certainly. They wouldn't have needed to if they expected to stand any chance against her. What do you have to say, freak? What do you want? You're bothering me. There's something I'd like to talk to you about. Make it quick. Is it true that Sakura asked you to meet her in the rec room? So you found out. Interesting. Then it's true? I did receive a note to that effect, yes. But what fool would do what it said and risk being killed by that monster? So you didn't go see her? Of course not. I ripped the note to shreds and threw it away. I haven't seen Sakura today at all. Byakuya says he didn't go see her. Is that the truth? Well, until I can prove otherwise, I have no choice but to accept it as fact. If you're all finished, please remove yourself from my sight. Okay, thanks. Byakuya's account. Do we have anything else? Window? This door is the only way in or out of the rec room. The door doesn't have a lock, and there's no evidence that the mountings have been tampered with. The only notable change to the door is the smashed window, which happened, of course, when I broke it to get inside. There's no evidence that any kind of string or mechanism was used on the door. In other words, I don't see anything suspicious about the door itself. Oh, the chair. The chair was shoved up against the doorknob, so we couldn't get the door open. There's no evidence that any kind of string or mechanism was used on the chair. In other words, there's no reason to think the chair had anything special done to it. Having examined both the door and the chair, there's no doubt that the reason the door didn't open was simply because the chair was shoved up against it. Come on, controller. Thank you. This kept the doorknob from turning and the door from opening, and there was no evidence of the door or chair being tampered with or anything like that. So the killer must have created the lock room door from the inside, not from the outside. Rec room door. Well, Makoto, have you finished with your general investigation? Yeah, I think so, for the most part.
じゃあ
Then you should probably go talk with people now. I'm on guard duty, so I can't leave.
いいわね。
Which is why I've decided you'll go in my place. She's decided? She's gotten a lot more pushy since we had our issue. But she's right. I do have to go talk to the others. Sakura wanted to meet with 2 other people. I need to hear what they have to say. Oh, yes. As well, Kirigiri's not mad at him anymore. Because they have other shit going on. Oh, no. I have to leave the room the regular way. Those 2 other probably went back to their rooms. Okay. Run. What we got? Toko. I pressed the doorbell. Ding dong. And after a few seconds...
何？
Huh?
誰？
Who's there? Ugh, the most negative aura I've ever felt. An aura of total decay.
何？何なの？
Well, what do you want?
かわ
母さん戻ってたんだね。ジェノサイダーじゃなくて。
So you're back to normal. Genocide Jack isn't around anymore.
あいつの話しないでよ。気分が悪くなるじゃない。
Don't even say her name. It makes me sick to my stomach.
楽しい気分なのに。
I was in such a good mood, too. She didn't look like she was in a good mood.
さ、ちょっと話があるんだけど、今いいかな。
Hey, I was hoping to talk to you about something. Is now a bad time? Obviously annoyed, Toko slithered out into the hall. She's a slithering kind of girl.
なんの用よ。
What do you want? You said you wanted to talk to me about something? Yes, my queen. I wanted to talk about the fact that Sakura had asked to meet with you.
それは。
I don't know what you're talking about. Byakuya already told me she'd asked to meet with him. What? She wanted to meet with Master too? Oh, I just said two, didn't I? I guess now it's totally obvious, huh? Yeah, pretty much. So can you tell me about it? I admit I did get the note, but I didn't go see her. I was scared, so I couldn't bring myself to go. Toko claims she didn't go see her, but can I really believe her? Well, until I can prove otherwise, I have no choice but to accept it as fact. That's his catchphrase. Is that good enough? Then I'm going back to my room. With that, Toko quickly retreated into her room. Toko's account. This is, I mean, everything is sad, but this is the saddest thing that could happen in fiction. You know? That's just my professional opinion. I pressed the doorbell. Ding dong. And after a few seconds... What's up, Makoto? Do you need something? I would love to purple word you. Yeah, actually, I just want to check something. It's about how Sakura wanted to meet with you. How'd you know about that? Whoa, did you maybe gaze into my soul? Have your special abilities awakened in you? But I'm not the only one she wanted to meet with. Ogre told me herself that she asked Byakuya and Toko to come too. What? When did Sakura tell you that? Oh, well, when she asked me to meet with her, of course. But didn't she write you a note? Yeah, a note. She gave it to me in person, and she happened to mention the others, like, in passing. I gotta be honest, this is super suspicious. So then you went and met with Sakura? No way, I totally didn't. Why would I ever do that? Yeah, definitely suspicious. Last time I saw Ogre was when Hina got hurt and I took her to the nurse's office. I haven't seen her since then. While I'm here, could you show me the note she gave you? Oh, do I still have it? Let's see. Hiro was feeling around in his pockets. Sorry, looks like I don't have it anymore. With a big goofy smile on his face, he pulled his hands back out of his pockets. But when he did, I saw something flutter to the ground. Something had fallen out of Hiro's pocket. Huh? Quick as the wind, Hiro snatched it back up again and shoved it back into his pocket. Sorry, just a bit of trash I forgot to throw out. Trash? Anyway, I can't deny that Ogre asked to meet with me, but I never went. So, well, if you'll excuse me. Before waiting for a reply, Hiro quickly slipped back into his room. Hiro said that was just trash, but there's no way that's all there was to it. Pocket trash. That's a funny name for an anything. Pocket trash. Okay, so I've heard from Toko and Hiro. What next? I'll definitely have to look at the actual crime scene again, but on top of that, maybe I should find out more about this protein can we found on the floor of the rec room. I'm sure it must have come from the chem lab. So where should I start? Let's get chemical. How's everyone's morale? Mine's not good. What is my picture? Oh, I'm still crying. Yeah. Low. Morale is low on Bernadette's Twitter. What? Twitch. Same first word. Few letters, rather. That's the thing. It's because last time Hagakure was involved, but he was obviously not involved because he's so stupid. But now he's behaving very suspiciously. So it's like, what do we do? What do we think? What's happening? Could he really kill her? Who could kill her? Why? I mean, we have motives actually for a lot of people, but they're stupid. And this is what goes through the mind of the viewer or the player. And Naegi. Oh, BRB. Turn off my mic. Hello, sorry. Thank you for noting. My friend came home from the store, so I let her inside the house. My friend who is staying here. And now we're going to the chemistry lab. I love this fucking track, even if this is a terrible moment in our lives. It's a good song. Bum, bum, bum. Has everyone eaten today? Ugh, not this Joker. Makoto, did you have your eye on the chem lab too? Just make sure you don't get in my way. Yeah, I got it. I think what you mean to say was, yes, sir, I understand. Jesus Christmas. This isn't my first time seeing the shelf, but I just can't get over how big it is. I should probably take a closer look at it. It looks like 3 shelves have been connected together to make one giant shelf. Yes, I had leftover Domino's pizza. But more important right now, what's the powder that's been spilled in front of the shelf? I have to be careful not to step in it. There's a broken bottle in front of the shelf. Is this where all the powder came from? It looks like the bottle has a label on it, Chem C4. Would you like to hear something interesting? I was on the 4th floor this morning, checking things out, and at that point, this room wasn't like this. Then this powder must have been spilled. That's right. It only could have been happened around the time of the incident. If that really is when it happened, it must be related to the case somehow. And it has a skull and crossbones on it. Source of the powder. These are footprints? And they're only in front of the left shelf. How do these footprints relate to the scene as a whole? We may need to sketch out the floor plan. By we, do you mean me? How kind of you to offer. With an insufferable smirk, he handed me a piece of paper and a pen. Well, let's go. Chop chop. Okay. So I got to work, and before long, I'd drawn up a sketch of the room. Oh, beautiful. So how's this? Not bad. For you, I mean. For me. So when you look at it like this, interesting. It would appear that whoever left these footprints only had business at the leftmost shelf. They came in, went straight to the shelf, did whatever they had to do, and then left. That's what the footprints tell me. No shit, babe. These footprints must be... Makoto, are they yours? No? Okay, then let me see your shoes and I'll confirm their size for myself. I couldn't think of a reason not to, so I quietly did what Byakuya said. I see. Your feet do appear to be too big. Unfortunately, I must admit these are not your footprints. Unfortunately. But with how clear these prints are, it should be quite easy to determine who they do belong to. Then these prints are a really valuable clue. Agree. There's a bunch of yellow powder scattered on the floor. I better not leave a footprint. I should probably take a good hard look at that powder. There's a bunch of yellow powder scattered on the floor in front of the shelf. There's also the remains of a broken bottle. It looks like the bottle was labeled Chem C4. Also, it looks like someone left some footprints in the powder. Based on the positioning of the prints, whoever was only went to the left side of the shelf. Thank you for the review. According to Byakuya, the powder would have had to have been spilled right around the time of the incident. That's all I can tell for now. Footprints in the powder. Let's check out the leftmost shelf. Let's see, what's on the shelf? There are all kinds of dietary supplements and different medicines. The protein drink we found in the rec room probably came from this shelf. All the containers on the shelf are labeled with the letter A and a number, so I guess I can consider this part of the shelving unit, section A. Huh? But wait! There's one bottle here that's labeled Chem C9. Could someone have put it here on accident? So on this shelf it looks like a bunch of chemicals that I have no idea what they are. They're reagents. Put simply, they're used in experiments to bring about a chemical reaction. Have you lived in such ignorance for so long? It must truly be bliss. Isn't that kind of harsh? What, you think studying science and mathematics has no practical application in the real world? The words of a lifelong loser, which I suppose suits you well. I know, he's so mean. I didn't even say that. Anyway, that doesn't matter. Right now I need to focus on the shelf. All the containers on the shelf are labeled with the letter B and a number, so I guess I can consider this part of the shelving unit, section B. Also, hi Mickey! I don't see anything out of the ordinary here. In which case, I don't think I have to worry too much about this shelf. On this shelf one look and I can tell it's nothing but dangerous chemicals. These look like poisons and other powerful chemicals. All the containers on this shelf are labeled with the letter C and a number, so I guess I can consider this part of the shelving unit, section C. Siren, you have to eat. Get some snack. I should try to find out more about this shelving unit. It looks like it's split into 3 sections. Section A has dietary supplements, Section B has reagents, and Section C has lethal chemicals. Sakura must have gotten the protein powder from Section A. But what concerns me is that in Section A, there was a bottle with the label from Section C. What was a bottle of poison from Section C doing in Section A? There's definitely something going on here. Chem lab shelf! I've already taken a good look at the chem lab. Maybe I should take another look around the rec room. Let's go. Dun, 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 dun. Rec room is 3rd floor. What's your guys' favorite floor of the building? Mine's the first one, because I remember where everything is. The first floor has all the food. That's Siren's favorite floor. Bum, 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 bum. So, Makoto, how's your investigation going? I told Kyoko what Toko and Hiro had told me. I see. So along with Byakuya, they're both claiming they didn't go see her. But it's all too convenient. Someone must be lying. A rabbit's favorite thing to do is eat. So fucking true. Hashtag rabbit facts. Someone's lying. Well, I've made some progress of my own. Sakura's body, the shelf of magazines, and the Monokuma bottles. These 3 things have revealed new clues. You'd do well to look over them one more time. Okay. Whatever you say, kitty kitty. According to Kyoko, there's still something to be discovered from Sakura's body. Yeah, you were right, Mickey. Just staring off into space isn't going to help you figure anything out. Well, yeah, I know, but don't you think you might need to actually examine the body? There's no getting around it. Unlike me, Kyoko didn't recoil at the thought of touching a dead body. She was completely unemotional. It's the kind of thing I've grown perversely used to. Although there's still sometimes. I can't believe how calm you are. No matter how many times I see a dead body, I can't get used to it.
そうね
That's totally normal. Then how can you...
それが
I imagine it's because I've had plenty of opportunities to touch dead bodies in the past. What? How dare you do this to her, Mickey? What's Mickey done? Sorry, never mind.
ね
More importantly, look here. Her shoes?
そう
See that yellow powder on her instep? Yeah, it really stands out.
なるほどね
He thought it into truth. Oh. Mickey did not manifest this game that came out 12 years ago. Or maybe he did. Mickey, you're on trial. The powder is clue number 1. Yellow powder.
ね
Next is the wound to her head. Look carefully.
そうね
Actually, even telling you that, it's incredibly difficult to spot. So let me just explain.
どうやら
It would appear that she didn't suffer a single blow, but instead received 2 blows to the head. 2 blows?
え
Interesting, wouldn't you say? And there's one more interesting thing.
そう
Both of her hands were spotless. There's absolutely no trace of blood on either one.
そう
So that's what I learned from examining her body in detail. Kitty Giddy knows some shit has been added to the truth bullet section of your handbook. I can't believe she was able to learn all that just by looking at her body. Nike, step it fucking up. Come on, kid. Aren't all children obsessed with solving murders? I don't think anyone but Kyoko could have pulled that off. Okay, Monokuma bottles. I think Kyoko said she'd found a new clue involving the Monokuma bottles. Something new, something new.
ね
So, did you figure it out? There's a hidden correlation between the bottles. Pay careful attention and you're sure to find it. A correlation. Hey, Kyoko, can't you just tell me what it is?
それが
I don't mind guiding you towards clues, but giving you my conclusion is I clicked too quick. Each person needs to come to their own conclusion so that everyone can have confidence in the outcome. And it's not just because you don't trust me, right? No answer. I do trust you, to a degree. Otherwise, I wouldn't have told you anything to begin with. Only to a degree? Monokuma bottle has been updated. Actually, there's one other thing about the Monokuma bottles that's bothering me. I'd like to do an experiment to confirm it. You don't mind helping me, right? An experiment?
とにかく
Can you gather up all the pieces of the broken Monokuma bottle? Try and get the smaller pieces too. Huh? Are you sure it's okay to mess with the crime scene like that?
別にいいじゃない
I've already done a thorough investigation, so it's fine. And that obnoxious Byakuya's not here, so...
じゃあ
Anyway, I need to get something from the chem lab while I'm gone. Try and gather up all the glass. With that, Kyoko left the room. I really don't know what this is about, but what choice do I have? Better just do it. I took the broom and dustpan and got to work collecting all the broken bottle pieces. Broken bottle pieces, broken bottle pieces. Get it? And just as I finished up... Sorry to keep you waiting.
じゃあ
Is everything ready? Then let's get to work. Thank you, Mickey. Culture connoisseur. So, what kind of experiment are we doing?
つまり
I got a scale from the chem lab. We're going to use it to compare weights. Compare the weights of what? The pieces of glass you collected and one of the Monokuma bottles that's still intact. Why do you want to do that? That's the point of the experiment. It'll make sense when we're done. First, let's compare the weight of the 2 of the normal Monokuma bottles. It's balanced,
つまり
which means each Monokuma bottle weighs about the same, which makes sense. The Monokuma figures inside are basically the same, and nothing else could really affect the weight.
じゃあ
Now here comes the important part. Put all the pieces you picked up on one side of the scale. Now, what might we expect to see? Well, a normal assumption would be either they'll balance out or the pieces I collected will be lighter. I did my best to get them all, but there's a chance I could have missed some here and there.
じゃあ
Okay, then let's give it a try. Huh? The broken pieces are heavier? How is that possible?
やっぱり
Just as I thought. What?
つまり
The results of our experiment and the correlation between each of the bottles. Put it all together.
ね
And I believe you'll arrive at one very persuasive conclusion. So, what do you think? It's all on you. Monokuma bottle experiment. What? Says Dawn. Well, here, let's look at the Monokuma bottles. Again. Something new, something new.
ね
Bum, 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 bum. I don't know what the bottles have in common, and I don't understand the results of the experiment. Comparing the weight of the broken bottle pieces to a completely intact Monokuma bottle. The broken pieces were clearly heavier. What does that mean?
それがそうよ
The chess piece? I don't fucking get it, says Dawn. You may. Kyoko said the magazine shelf was hiding a clue of some kind. Clue. Huh? This magazine's upside down. Did someone put it back that way on accident?
ね
If something catches your eye, it's important for you to explore that in detail, don't you think? Kyoko, why are you testing me, girl? Dawn, you are my Naegi. I'm petting you. Yeah, you're right. I picked up the inverted magazine and flipped through it. This is... On one of the pages near the center of the magazine, a word had been written in bold, bloody letters, and it said, Toko. Could this be a dying message?
そう
Then it would appear you found it. Kyoko, is this?
それが
It is indeed a dying message. Someone used their finger to write it. A dying message.
だけど
But just to be clear, I'm not the one who put it back upside down. It was already like that when I found it a little while ago. I made sure to put it back exactly as I found it for the benefit of others who might come looking. Hey, is that? That says Toko, right? Yeah, it looks like it. Then she's the killer, right? Well, it hasn't been confirmed yet. It's settled. She's the killer for sure. That's conclusive evidence, right? We can use it to corner the killer. I can see why you would think that, but it just seems too easy. If anything, it makes me that much more suspicious. Magazine dying message. Ding dong bing bong, guys. Thank you for the DDBB. Oh, I realized DDBB, Dawn Bernadette Berry. DDBB is our official Danganronpa team. I have plans, everyone, for the future to involve Dawn more as she has been my assistant. So get ready for the DDBB blank. Oops.
寝てたお前らの父さんが退屈すぎて寝ちゃってたよ
Oh, of course. Wait, I think there are. I have no idea, actually. I know there's announcements, but I don't know if they are written as ding dong bing bong, but I sure hope so. Oops, you caught me sleeping. Your investigation was just so boring, I couldn't stay awake.
やっちゃうよいいっすかやっちゃってもいいっすか
Thank you so much for DDBB, Siren. Should I do it? Is it okay? Can I?
じゃあ卓球裁判を始めます
Okay, then let's begin the class trial.
いつもの場所に至急集合してください
You know where to meet, right?
学校エリア1階にある
Please go through the red door on the first floor of the school.
ぷぷぷじゃあ後でね
Boo, 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 boo. See you soon. It's already time, but the mystery of the locked room is still only half solved. At this point, whatever happens will have to happen at the class trial. No, not whatever happens. I have to make something happen. We're gonna go until 2 o'clock, or around there if there's a better time to stop before or after. So, due to house guestery, I'm not gonna just marathon and make everybody in the house be quiet. So, Monokuma made his announcement and everyone began to meet up one after another. And then, there's so few fucking people left. The ultimate martial artist. Face. A locked room murder mystery. Wink. What the? Oh, I've just recently discovered the power of emoticons. Like, no matter how awful something is, if you toss in a smiley face, it turns positive. For example, you're at a picnic and you find a dead body, XD. This is just plain creepy. And how about the reverse? Hold on, is this the chapter where redacted and redacted? I have no idea. No matter how great something is, if you put in a sad face, it makes it look super negative. For example, do you have 100 friends? He's right, that does make it seem sad. Now then, please get in the elevator. I'll see you all down there. What the hell was that? I don't get it. I don't get you guys. How can you act so casual after murdering someone? I don't think I'm acting casual. I didn't murder anyone. Yeah, I'm completely innocent. How dare you call me a murderer? Whatever. Either way, the truth will be revealed soon enough. Because there can be no doubt one of us is the culprit. The killer, the one that murdered Sakura. She was stronger than anyone I know. And yet, someone killed her. And that person is here? The person is one of us? Yeah, stupid. How can you just stand there and say you didn't do it without even breaking a sweat? Standing around here isn't going to do any good. Let's get going. Because I didn't do it. How many times do I have to tell you? The culprit is one of us. Make no mistake about that. I said it before and I'll say it again. It wasn't me. Ugh. Remember when this room was full to the brim of teens? I made my way toward the elevator. With each step I took, I felt like I was moving further and further away from my goal. I could feel a chilling fear running through me, trying to make me rot from the inside out. No matter how many times I go through this, it never gets any easier. We climbed into our steel prison in total silence. We watched the doors close, and felt it begin its sinister descent. The elevator lowered, uttering its all too familiar clunking sounds. It fell lower and lower, and as suddenly as always, the ride was over. The doors opened once again. Just a 6 of you, huh? Really? That's so few. You must be so lonely. You say that like it's not your fault we're all that's left. I wonder, will the class trial end with one less classmate again? Or will your school life come to an end completely? Menorah? Yeah, this is an interesting theme. Now then, are we ready to begin? You know the drill. Find your assigned seats. And so the curtain opened for the 4th time. A deadly judgment, a deadly deception, a deadly betrayal. I'm holding out the mic so everyone can say it together. A deadly riddle, a deadly defense, a deadly faith. A deadly class trial. I would love to save the data. Thank you for asking. I'm the Menorahs in the back. Hi, Veronica. Okay, guys. Let's see if we have skills to set. Are you already set? Yes. Increases time limit for each phase. Let's do it, bitch. Yeah, luckily we have so few. It does not, we don't have to pick them. And let's read all of our clues. Truth bullets. I started my mountain of laundry. Everyone say DDBB. DDBB, baby. Ding dong bing bong for laundry. 21 clues this time. Fucking, here we go. Monokuma file number 4. The victim was Sakura Ogami. The time of death is estimated to be around 12 noon. The body was discovered in the rec room on the 3rd floor of the school. There's evidence of a strong blow to the victim's head. No other injuries were noted. However, it seems that at some point the victim suffered from violent vomiting of blood. Please! Verdonica fanart at Hanukkah when seasonally appropriate. Yes, 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 yes. Rec room door. A chair had been jammed against the door within the rec room, blocking access from the outside. It's believed that the killer did this to create a locked room scenario. Status of Sakura's body. Sakura was found dead, seated in a chair, slumping forward. Traces of blood were found around her mouth, presumably from when she vomited blood. However, there was no injury or indication as to why she would have vomited blood. Magazine shelf bloodstain. A bloodstain was found in front of the shelf of magazines. The blood is presumed to be Sakura's. There's currently no explanation for how bloodstain would have appeared so far away from where the victim was found. Polka dot candy wrapper. At one point, Aoi had been injured and taken to the nurse's office. After she was taken care of, she gave a piece of candy to Sakura which had this type of wrapper. According to Aoi, she had monopolized this candy as soon as it became available, so obtaining a piece would have been difficult to impossible. So true. Eat that fucking bread. Glass shards on the floor. There were pieces of red glass scattered near the table in the rec room. After finding the top and bottom pieces, it was concluded that the shards must have come from a bottle. Figure on the floor. A Monokuma figure was found laying on the rec room floor. It would fit roughly in the palm of your hand. I'm just reading these and not taking them in, and that's going to be difficult for me during the trial. I always imagine just like one of those strawberry hard candies, just because it's red, but I wonder what it is as well. Monokuma bottles. There are a number of red bottles on the shelf in the rec room. Inside each bottle is a Monokuma figure. Additionally, there seems to be some kind of unknown correlation between the bottles. Empty protein drink. An empty protein drink was found near the rec room door. The container had a label reading Chem A2. The shards of glass from the window that was broken to get into the room were found both around and underneath the container. Locker handprint. A fresh handprint was found inside the rec room's open locker. Since the locker was open before they opened the locked room, there's no way someone was hiding in there before they arrived. Aoi's account. Sakura had written notes to Toko, Byakuya, and Yasuhiro, asking them to meet her in the rec room by noon. She had slid these notes underneath each person's room door. Byakuya's account. Byakuya confirmed that he received Sakura's note, but also claimed that he never went to see her, and in fact had not seen her at all that day. Toko's account. Toko confirmed that she received Sakura's note, but also claimed that she never went to see her. Pocket trash. A small bit of garbage accidentally fell out of Yasuhiro's pocket. It was a piece of paper with red polka dots on it. Yellow powder. Yellow powder was found on the instep of Sakura's foot. Kyoko examination summary. Sakura suffered 2 blows to the head, not 1. No blood was found on either of her hands. Porky pig, thank you. Veronica, I remember exactly what happened, but I know there's going to be a non-obvious argument to chigao your way. Yeah, exactly. This one, how can one forget? Thanks. Monokuma bottle experiment. All of Monokuma bottles appear to be roughly the same weight. However, when the bottle shards were weighed against an intact bottle, the shards were found to be heavier. Magazine dying message. On the magazine shelf, one magazine had been put back upside down. Inside this magazine, Toko's name had been written in blood. It's assumed that whoever wrote it used their finger to do so. Chem lab shelf. On the shelf in the chem lab, Section A contains supplements, Section B contains reagents, and Section C contains harmful chemicals. A bottle of poison labeled as Section C has been placed in Section A of the shelf. Source of the powder. There was a broken bottle in front of the chem lab shelf, which was labeled Chem C4. The powder of the floor is assumed to have come from this. According to Byakuya, the powder would have been spilled after the incident took place. Footprints in the powder. Someone had left footprints in the powder spilled in the chem lab. These footprints appear only near the leftmost section of the shelf. From this, it can be assumed that the suspect only had business in this area. Here we go. Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do it.
まずは学級裁判の簡単な説明から始めましょう。
Let's begin. Okay. Sorry, babe.
お前らの投票により決定されます。
Let's begin with a basic explanation of the class trial. So your votes will determine the results.
正しい黒を指摘できれば黒だけがお仕置き。だけどもし間違った人物を黒とした場合は
If you can figure out who done it, then only they will receive punishment. But if you pick the wrong one,
黒以外の全員がお仕置きされ、みんなは欺いた黒だけが晴れて卒業となります。
then I'll punish everyone besides the blackened, and the one that deceived everyone else will graduate. This voice is basically the equivalent of Winnie the Pooh. Yeah, just this is, there you go. That's the equivalent. Now then, where to begin?
犯人はもう決まってるよ。
We already know who did it.
なんかデジャブだ。
Whoa, deja vu.
さくらちゃんを殺した犯人は
The one who killed Sakura.
さくらちゃんのことを憎んでた戸上か深川か葉隠れ。あんたたちの誰かだよ。
is one of the people that hated her. Byakuya, Toko, or Hiro. It was one of you. Idiot.
私は関係ないわよ。
I had nothing to do with it.
そうだ。俺が人殺しなんてするわけねえべ。
That is a normal way to respond to something, Hagakure. Thanks. Yeah, I'd never killed someone. No way.
言い訳したってダメだよ。
I don't want to hear your stupid excuses. Hina seems really sure that one of those three is the killer, but she must have some reason for believing that. Me, when I'm making my argument,
あんたたちの誰か
it was one of you.
さくらちゃんを殺
One of you killed Sakura.
なぜ俺たち
And what reason do you have for saying so?
動機がある
Because you all had a motive.
あんたたちは
You hated her.
組んでたじゃん。
Is that it? That doesn't make any sense. That's the only reason you have for accusing us?
最低よ。
That's low. That's about as low as you can get. Okay, it'll be on Hagakure's. Oh bother, the children have committed a murder again. Yeah, that's what's happening with Monokuma.
さくらちゃんを殺したんだよ。
なぜ俺たちが犯人だと思うんだ。
動機があるからだよ。あんたたちはさくらちゃんを憎んでたじゃん。
それだけか。話にならんな。
Kablow! Ugh. Hina-chan kill me, she's so emotional. I know, it's so... Oh my god.
朝比奈さんが疑ってるのって、その3人が大神さんに呼び出されてたからだよね。
Another reason you suspect them is because Sakura wanted to meet with them, right?
そうだよ。しかも事件の直前にね。
Yeah, and that was right before she died.
だから間違いないよ。そいつらの中にさくらちゃんを殺した犯人がいるんだ。
So there's no doubt about it. One of those three killed her. I can't disagree with Hina. There's good reason to suspect all three of them. Then does that mean one of them did it? Pocket trash.
さくらちゃんを呼び
The fact that Sakura wanted to meet with all three of them.
どう考えても
There's no way that's not suspicious.
絶対あんたたち
One of you's absolutely guilty.
呼び出された
I don't deny that she wanted to meet with us, but
俺は会いに行っ
I never went to see her.
あ私も
I didn't either. Same here. I never saw her. My asshole.
葉隠君は僕と話してる最中、小さな紙を落としてたよね。
Hiro, when we were talking before, you dropped a small piece of paper, remember?
赤い水玉模様の紙だよ。
It was white with red polka dots.
なんで急にそんなこと言うんだべ。
What's that got to do with anything?
赤い水玉模様って
Red polka dots?
私がさくらちゃんにあげた飴の包装紙と一緒だ。
That's gotta be the wrapper from the candy I gave Sakura.
いや、それはその。
No, it's,
あの飴は倉庫に入れるようになった直後、私が段ボールごと独り占めしてるから。
Ever since we got into the warehouse, I totally monopolized that entire box of candy.
それと同じものはもう倉庫にも残ってないはずだよ。
So there's no way a single one of them was left in the warehouse.
だとしたら、葉隠君はその飴をどこで手に入れたの？
In that case, Hiro, where did you get that piece of candy?
さくらちゃんからだ。それしかないよ。
From Sakura. It's the only explanation.
そのオーガからもらったのは確かだけど。
Well, I mean, yeah, sure I got it from her, but
だけどもらったのはずいぶん前なんだ。だから事件とは関係ないんだって。
but she gave it to me forever ago. It doesn't have anything to do with what happened to her.
いつもらったの？
When? When did she give it to you?
葉隠君が大神さんと最後に会ったのって、朝比奈さんを保健室に連れて行った時だよね。
The last time you saw Sakura was when Hina had to go to the nurse's office, right?
つまりあの時より前にもらったってことだべ。
Yeah, so I must have got it sometime before then. He's behaving so normal. But what Hiro said can't be right, because Sakura could have only gotten the candy after the incident in the nurse's office. And the reason I know this is when Sakura got the candy. I'm not sure about that, Hiro.
朝比奈さんが大神さんに飴をあげたのは保健室から出た後だったんだ。
Hina didn't actually give Sakura the candy till after she left the nurse's office.
保健室で会ったのが最後なら葉隠君がその飴をもらってるはずがないんだよ。
The only one I'm okay with doing this is Togami because I already hate his ass. That's literally, since the first one, it's like, okay, that guy did it every time. Let's kill him. Does anyone have any ideas who hasn't played? So if that was the last time you saw her, there's no reason you should have had that candy. Damn it.
それはその
I mean, what I meant was,
あったさ娯楽室でオーガと会ったさそれの何が悪いんだって
oh, that's right. I did meet up with her in the rec room. You got a problem with that?
逆切れ
Yeah. Why the sudden hostility?
だけど会っただけだべ俺は何にもしてねえってお願い信じて
But we just talked, that's all. I didn't do anything. You gotta believe me.
怪しいわねあなた
You're acting incredibly
怪
suspicious.
しいのはおめえの方だべ
You're acting incredibly suspicious.
また逆切れ
More hostility.
ただの逆ギレじゃねえぞ犯人は深ワッチなんだその証拠だってあるんだからな
It's not just normal hostility. You're the real culprit. I even have proof.
証拠って何のこと
Huh? Proof? What are you talking about?
シャイニングメッセージだべ
I'm talking about her shining message. What would a shining message even be?
現場に深ワって血文字があってろ
At the scene of the crime, she'd written out Toko in her own blood, right?
そうだダイイングメッセージだべアイゾノッチの時にもそんなこと言ってたじゃねえか
It was her dying message, just like what you guys were talking about with Sayaka.
あそれって私も見た
That's true, I saw it for myself.
そうだろそうだろ犯人は深ワッチなんだべ
Doesn't this feel too simple, you guys? Come on. See? See? Toko did it.
何言ってんだよそんなわけないじゃない
What are you saying? No way, I didn't do it.
同情際が悪いぞ
You just don't know when you're beat, do you?
葉隠君ちょっと待って
Hiro, hold on.
あなたがそのダイイングメッセージを見つけたのはいつ
Wait. Oh, I'm sorry, my love. When did you see that dying message of hers? Huh?
確かオーガの死体を発見した時だ
Well, when we found Ogre's body. Duh.
そうだったわねあなたは朝比奈さんから現場の捜査を禁止されていたのよね
But if you recall, Hina was very adamant about keeping you away from the scene of the crime.
つまりダイイングメッセージを見つけたなら死体を発見した時しかないはずよね
So it's hard to believe that's when you actually saw the message for yourself. Huh? Hold on. But when Kyoko found the magazine with the dying message, it was on the magazine shelf.
あの雑誌ってキリギリさんが見つけた時は雑誌棚の中にあったんだよね。
Kyoko, you found the magazine on the magazine shelf, right?
そうよ私があの雑誌を雑誌棚から取り出してそこでダイイングメッセージを見つけたの
That's right. Looking through the shelf, I found the magazine with the dying message on it.
現場での捜査が始まった後でね
I found it right there. Whoa, I accidentally did an accent. I found it right there at the scene of the crime after we'd started the investigation.
だとするとさっきの葉隠君の発言っておかしいよね。
If that's true, then what Hiro said just doesn't really make sense, does it?
おかしい
Does it make sense? Miss Texas 2022. That's Kitty Giddy in the English version. She has a very thick, cartoonish Texas accent. What doesn't make sense? Everything I said makes perfect sense. Me, literally. There's definitely something strange about it. Kyoko found the dying message during the investigation, in which case... Yakuza Dry Clean, friend of the show. You got this. As the trial continues, it's continuing. That clearly contradicts what Hiro told us. Dance party of sadness. Magazine dying message.
俺がダイ
I can tell you exactly when I found the dying message. When Ogre's body was discovered. And I can tell you when I found the dying message. It was only after the investigation had begun. I found the magazine tucked away on the magazine shelf. When I pulled it out, I saw her final words. What's your problem? What I said makes total sense. It doesn't. Okay, we have to pick something that Kitty Kitty says. How do we... That's how. That's what I take? I know. It's really... there. Hagakure calls her Ogre all the time. Because he's a rude little bitch boy. Get his ass. Me? Oh, I'm such a good gamer. When Sakura's body was found, the magazine was sitting on the shelf nearby. That's where Kyoko found it after we'd begun the investigation. And you weren't at the murder scene, so there's no way you could have seen it then. Tell us the truth, Hiro. When did you see the message? Hold on, you're focusing on the wrong part. Why does it matter when I saw it? All you gotta do is read the Vienna sausage Ogre left us and we know who the killer is. Toko. I don't even know where to begin with that one. He's just trying to confuse us. Actually, can we even be sure Sakura wrote that message in the first place? Yeah? The acting in this game is so fucking funny. I think we can all agree Ogre wrote that message. 100% without a doubt she wrote it. And this is me talking so you know it's true. Without a doubt? No, I absolutely do doubt it. There's no way Sakura wrote that message. The moment of fucking truth, bitch. Oh, no. I remembered how to refill it. I'm such a good gamer. Isn't he only right 30% of the time? Correct. Don't get me. How do I do tempo up? Okay. Thank God. Not my himbo. I'm completely unconvinced that Sakura wrote the dying message. Because if you look at it, the message was almost certainly written using a finger, but both of her hands were completely free of blood. Say what? Then who did write it? Hiro could have very well written it himself. That'd explain how he knew about the message in the first place. Watching you play this makes you want to go through the whole series again, but then I watch you play a mini game and I'm like, never mind, maybe. That's the power of streaming. I'm actually have just started for real making the VOD YouTube playlist, so everyone can just watch the shit they missed from my streams. So you don't have to play these stupid fucking idiot games. Yeah, that's exactly what happened. Oh, he admits it. I figured as much. But why would you write something like that? Because I killed her. You're admitting to killing her? Please just let me explain what happened. I got Ogre's note, and so I headed to the rec room right before noon, like it said. You just did exactly as the note asked? What a fool. When I got there... Sorry, but do you mind waiting? I asked a couple of other people to meet as well. Okay. Would you like a piece of candy? It might help give you some energy. Oh, sure, thanks. And that's all she said. After that, we just stood around in awkward silence. Suddenly, I heard her mutter something. This is it. I'm gonna end it today. I'm going to end everything. As soon as I heard that, I just knew. I knew she was gonna try and kill me. She was gonna kill me and make her escape. So of course I freaked out, and then... I saw my only chance. I grabbed a Monokuma bottle from the shelf and smashed it across her head. I hit her from behind before she had any idea what was happening. Then she just went limp. I didn't see her move again after that. Once it was over, I pulled myself together. I realized if I didn't do something, I'd be caught and executed. So I wrote Togo's name in blood across a magazine on the table and I ran away. I can't believe you. You're the worst. I hope you die. Well, that's what happened. Go ahead. Roast me, boil me, do whatever you want. I don't know. He's so stupid. You're not gonna get off that easy. It's death. Death for the one that killed Sakura. Ooh. We're ready to vote now, right? We know who did it. No, I think there's more to Hito's story. What are you talking about? What else could there be? I know, it's so... There's one thing that Hito's story just now doesn't explain. And until we figure that part out, we can't consider the case closed. So what is it that Hito did that doesn't make sense? What would he have had to do other than writing the message? It doesn't make sense. Why the magazine was hidden? They really truly are. That's true. Everything you just said, it doesn't explain why the magazine was hidden, does it? Huh?
死体が発見された時、ダイイングメッセージが書かれた雑誌は雑誌棚に戻されてたけどさ。
By the time the body was discovered, the magazine had been picked up and put on the shelf.
どうしてわざわざ見つかりにくい雑誌棚に戻したの？
Why would you take the time to write the message? Sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself. Why would you take the time to write the message and stick it somewhere we might not find it?
いやというかだな
Oh, well,
俺は隠してなんかねえぞちゃんとテーブルの上に置いといたはずだけど
I didn't hide it. I'm sure I just left it sitting there on the table. Really?
嘘よ。嘘に決まってるわ。
He's lying. He's gotta be lying.
すでに犯行を自白しているのに、今さら嘘をつくとは思えないわ。
I don't see any reason he would lie now after already confessing to the crime.
そうじゃないってこと。
Then he's not lying?
だとすると、葉隠れ以外の誰かがあの雑誌を雑誌棚に戻したということになるな。
Assuming he's telling the truth, someone else must have put the magazine back on the shelf.
つまり、事件前後に娯楽室を訪れた人物が他にもいたということか。
In other words, at least one other person was in the rec room before both and after the incident.
おそらくその考えで間違いないはずよ。
I don't think there's any question about that.
それって誰なの？
Then who was it?
その人物があの雑誌を隠したんだとすると、
If they went to the trouble of hiding the magazine,
それはあのダイイングメッセージを見られると困る人物だったはず。
they must not have liked what was written on it. Someone who wouldn't like what had been written, there's only one choice.
これだ。深川さんだよね。
It had to be Toko, right? Whoa.
だってダイイングメッセージを見られて困る人って実際に名前を書かれた深川さん以外に考えられないよ。
Who else would want to hide the magazine other than the person whose name was written on it?
そうなの？あんたも娯楽室に行ったの？
Is he right, Toko? Did you really go to the rec room?
なんで私が？
Why would I have?
いえ、そうじゃなくて、
Wait, but more important,
そんなことはどうでもいいじゃない。犯人はもう決まったんでしょ？
that doesn't even matter. We already know who did it, right?
さっき葉隠れだってそう認めてたじゃない。
Hiro just admitted it.
そうです俺がやりました
That's right. I killed her.
違うよ。
No, you didn't.
なんであんたが答えるのよ。
Who asked you?
葉隠君が大神さんをボトルで殴ったのは確かだよ。でも事件はそれで終わりじゃなかったんだ。
I don't doubt Hiro attacked Sakura with the bottle, but that's not where this case ends.
終わりじゃなかったってどういう意味？
What do you mean?
つまり葉隠れ君は犯人じゃない。
He means... Oh. What he means is that Hiro isn't the killer.
何言ってんのよ。そんなことありえないわよ。
You can't be serious. That's just... I don't believe it.
だったらもう一度葉隠れ君にさっきの話をしてもらいましょうか。
Hiro, tell us what happened one more time.
そうすればはっきりするはずよ。彼が犯人じゃない。
If we go through it once more, it should become clear he's not Sakura's killer.
それで俺はどうすれば
So what do you want me to do?
今言った通りよ。もう一度大神さんを殴打した時のことを話して。
Just tell us what happened one more time when you attacked Sakura.
なんかわからんけどわかったべ
I don't really see why, but okay. We haven't reached the end of the case just yet. Hiro isn't the real killer, and I have to prove that. Non-stop debate, anxiety. It is so sad. This is so fucking sad. I already forget how to change. I remembered. I didn't want to, but I did it. I grabbed a Monokuma bottle from the shelf nearby, and I hit Ogre from behind before she could do anything. You hit her from behind, and you only hit her once, is that right? Yeah, just once. After the first swing, the bottle shattered, and she went limp. See? Isn't it obvious? Hiro really is the killer. We got it, right guys? We know.
オーガの背後から不意の一 一撃を食らわした。
不意の一撃ってことはあなたが殴打したのは1回なのね。
She has 2 blows to the head. And so, if that's all his involvement, then that's not all that happened.
葉隠君の殴打のせいで大神さんが死んだなら、彼女の頭の傷が2つだったことの説明がつかないよ。
If Sakura died from Hito's single blow, that doesn't explain why she had 2 head wounds.
二つ？
Huh? 2?
そう、彼女の頭部の傷は2つだったの。
That's right. She had 2 separate wounds on her head.
死体を触るのが趣味の女が言うんだ。間違いないんだろう。
And remember, this girl examines dead bodies as a hobby. Personally, I'm inclined to believe her.
でも俺が殴ったのは1回なのに、どうして頭の傷が2つあるんだ？
But I only hit her once. How could she have 2 wounds?
実は殴打が2回あったってことよ。しかもモノクマボトルによる殴打だね。
2 wounds means she was struck twice. What's more, both attacks must have come from a Monokuma bottle.
ちょっと待ちなさいよ。頭の傷だけでどうしてそこまでわかるの？
Hold on. How can you know that just from some cuts on her head?
殴打が2回もあったなんて。それもモノクマボトルによる殴打なんて。
She was attacked twice with 2 Monokuma
手
bottles.
がかりは頭の傷だけじゃない。
It's not just because of her head wounds, but it's also because of the Monokuma bottles themselves.
あのモノクマボトルには明らかに不審な点がある。
There's something very suspicious about those bottles.
その不審な点をはっきりさせることで、モノクマボトルでの殴打が2回あったとわかるのよ。
Once you understand that point, you'll understand why 2 separate Monokuma bottles must have been used. And with that, we will leave the cliffhanger. Tomorrow at 3 p.m., we will find out why the Monokuma bottles have been... Why 2? Before that, there is Veronica's stream doing things, right? At 3 p.m. her time, I think, right? Which is 12 mine. Maybe. Hollow Knight, I believe. Cliffhanger, murder, the saddest trial of all time. Thank you everyone for joining me. I hope that you have a good rest of the afternoon, evening. Make sure that you eat food and drink water and don't kill your friends, okay? Thank you. Bye-bye.